Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, August is our inversions month, so we're going to be doing a lot in terms of strength building for the shoulders, for the back, but we have to really work on counter stretching, opening heart, stretching shoulders, working core, and working this kind of tightness of the whole body. So we'll start at the top edge of your mat. This is a HIIT class, of course, so we're going to be doing a lot more powerful sort of things. But at the top edge of your mat, just go ahead and push down into the four corners of your feet as though we were heading into Surya Namaskars, which we actually will in just a moment. But here, and as you push down to the feet, try to bring the knees together, squeezing everything from the outside in. And I know I've made this in previous classes, this other analogy of taking the circle, the circular structure of your midline, your waist, and trying to suck everything in from all parts to solidify this core engagement. So with that, we're just going to take the arms to the sky, and as we do that, we're going to flip the palms open toward the ceiling as though we're in a handstand. And just take a few cycles of breath here to see if you can squeeze your thighs together, suck everything from the outside internally, and harden the whole body as you push the palms up to the sky. And take a next inhale to really lift it up, and exhale, let's fold forward into the legs. Inhale, let's lift halfway, and exhale, fold, loosen your body, step back to your plank, and harden your body once again. Maybe your knees come together, maybe your ankles come together. A few cycles of breath here. Try to suck the low belly in and up. And I do promise some vinyasas, so here we go. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, first back bend of your practice. Maybe move around. We're just getting into the counter stretch of all the hard body stuff. When you're ready for downward dog, harden the body to lift the hips. So just finding this element of strength, this kind of hard body idea, and also finding some looseness, maybe with every other breath, just trying to kind of play with this concept. You can paddle out your dog, one heel at a time, letting the tailbone lift, and just letting downward facing dog right now feel loose, feel flexible. And then commit to engagement. Really try to hold the low belly in, try to engage your thighs. Let's look forward and step or jump on up to the top of your mat. We'll lift halfway, inhale, a little loose, a little tight. Exhale, fold, try to loosen the hamstrings. And inhale, tighten the body. Let's come all the way up. Stretch, again, the palms to the sky. This cycle in your Samasthiti with the arms lifted. Let's take the shoulders and push them up in toward the ears, okay? Little weird, little counterintuitive, but play with this concept of not just lifting from your upper traps, like in your lower neck, but rather taking your armpits and pushing from an engaged armpit. Good. So here we go. Engage your armpits. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Once again, loosen the body to step back to plank. So let's hold plank. Drawing the knees together, pushing the ankles together if that feels okay for you. Squeezing the inner thighs, sucking the low belly in. And let's take this into a side plank. So just turning to one side, lifting it up. Try to maintain the solidity of the physical body, squeezing everything into that center line all the way down through the inner ankles. Let's take it back to plank pose. Inhale, exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Good, so listen, we just did side plank on one side. We have to do it on the other side. So ripple forward to plank on your inhale. Find that hard body. Engage everything. And then rotate open to side plank on the second side. Good. Squeeze the butt. Squeeze the thighs. Maybe even squeeze the ankles together if your feet are stacked. Good, take a big inhale and exhale back to plank. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale, loosen the body, upward dog, but try to draw the low belly in. And exhale, downward dog through that lift. Good, so just a little bit of warming crazy. So we're going to do it again. Let's inhale, lift the heels, tighten your body. Exhale, look forward, try to hop up with the body super tight. Inhale, lift halfway forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way back up. And again, palms to the sky. Practice the engaged armpits. We're going to do this next cycle of downward dog. Take a big inhale, really lift from your armpits. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, stretch it up. Exhale, fold, push from your armpits to hop back and lower down strong. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale, downward dog. Good, so we're going to do side plank one more time, but first walk the feet together behind you. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, choose a side plank. Let's be here for 5, tighten everything. 4, 3, squeeze the thighs together, squeeze the knees together, 2, and a 1, come back to plank. Let's add a push-up, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Coming back forward to plank, tighten your legs, tighten the low belly. Side plank, open it up, other side. For 5, squeeze the butt. 4, good. 3, 2, low, use your belly. And 1, come back to center. Here's chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, open it up. Exhale, downward dog, recommit to that power. Good, so not a whole lot of super stretching, but we're just trying to solidify these concepts in this first few moments of your practice. Let's turn the gaze forward. Push from your armpits and suck the belly in. Join your knees and hop to the top edge of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, we loosen. Exhale, fold. Come on up through a chair pose. Take an inhale, find your Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. So again, we're just going in for looseness here. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold, commit to strength. Push from your armpits, hop back, chaturanga. Inhale into your upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Come forward to plank, inhale. Exhale, side plank. Take an inhale to lift to side plank, tighten the body, don't let it move. Exhale, bring it back to plank, push up nice and strong. Coming back to side plank, second side. Take an inhale and exhale back to plank. Push up, find upward dog. Inhale, exhale, downward facing. Good, so this cycle of downward facing dog, let's drop the forearms to the floor. Just take a nice easy dolphin pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, gaze forward. We're going to do dolphin push-ups, chin to the thumbs. For 1, back to dolphin. 2, tighten the legs. 3, suck the belly in. 4, 5, stay right here. This is not a forearm plank. This is a low dolphin for 5. Use your armpits. 4, try to tighten your legs. 3, squeeze the low belly in. 2, it's okay if you're shaking. 1, dolphin, come on back to a downward facing dog. Let's paddle it out. Good, now this was hard, right? Good, so just a little bit of looseness for the legs. Let's sweep the right leg to the sky, inhale. And let's do the dog at the fire hydrant thing on your exhale. Just turning the hip open. A few cycles of breath. Feel free to circle from that hip if you'd like. Good. Good, we'll kick the legs straight to the sky. Inhale. Come back to down dog, exhale. Really push from your armpits. We'll take the left leg to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, open it up, stack the hip. Maybe gaze to the left. Just noticing how it feels right here to let the body stretch in this very weird way. Blood rushing to the face. Head below the heart. Inhale, kick the leg up. Exhale, downward dog. From your armpits, push, connect your knees, squeeze them, and hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Let's come back to chair pose. So in this chair pose, we're just going to take the palms together, if that's okay for you. Bending the elbows, stretching the triceps. We'll take the thumbs behind the head. Try to lift the armpits high for 5. Squeeze the thighs together. 4, press the palms together back there. 3, 2, and a 1. Inhale, lift the arms, and we're going to straighten the legs. Lift the heels away from the floor. So find the sense of like a pencil. The whole body running from fingertips all the way down to tippy toes. Breathe in your strength for 5. 4, lift those heels a little taller. 3, 2, suck the belly in. 1, heels down, come back to chair. Inhale, this is easy Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Let's step back, just step back to plank. Good. So because this is an inversions class, I want to make sure that we get to a lot of core work and a lot of inversion-like stuff. So finding your plank pose, we're going to take this for 10 rounds of breath. Here we go for 10, 9, really try to focus on your low abdominals, 8, 7, 6, rocking side to side with the hips, 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1, listen, we're going to drop the knees, little eye of the needle. Let's give the shoulders a quick moment. Inhale the right arm to the sky, and exhale, circle that right shoulder to the earth. So I'm going to turn this way. So as you circle it down, you can bring hand on top of hand, and maybe push the hands together as you drag the left hip back. It might feel like an intensified stretch. But just stay with the breath. Just giving the shoulders a moment, giving the back body a moment. Giving the breath a moment. Good. Listen, we're going to take the lifted arm around your low back. Just work on a little internal rotation for that lifted shoulder, if that feels okay for you. Just a few more cycles of breath. Good, let's release that hand back under the shoulder. Circle back up, inhale, right arm back to the sky, just feel it. And exhale back to your table, so let's do the other side. Inhale, left arm high. Exhale, feed that shoulder to the floor. Maybe hand on hand, pushing the hands together as you drag the right hip back. And this could be done in a number of different ways. For me, I like the pushing the hands together as a means to kind of entice the twist to deepen. Again, we're going to do some like posterior chain strength stuff next. So let's just really settle into the breath here. We're going to take the lifted arm once again around the low back and just work on that internal rotation to the lifted shoulder. Awesome. So let's take that right hand back underneath your shoulder. We'll inhale, recircle left arm high, and exhale back to table. So we're going to drop the forearms to the floor. Now we'll be in a forearm plank. Okay? So much like we've been doing already, connect the thighs, connect the knees, tuck the butt under, and let's just stay here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, rock the hips side to side, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Look forward, we'll drop the hips, and we're gonna make our way into a locust pose. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of rest here from this point forward. Taking the legs back, point long, try to feed the thighs in toward each other. Arms can lift. If you want to interlace fingers behind you, you can. Otherwise, you can pretend like you have a ball between your hands and squeeze that ball. Let's breathe as you lift up for 5. Point through those toes. 4, try to squeeze your triceps together behind you. 3, try to squeeze your thighs together behind you. 2, squeeze your heels together behind you. Last inhale on 1. Exhale, release. Let's take the hands underneath your shoulders. Flexibility time, upward dog. Inhale, pick it up. Exhale, downward facing. Good. So just take a moment in your downward dog to play with your shoulders. Notice how things might be feeling. Maybe paddle out your dog a little bit. Okay. So from here, we're going to play with hopping forward into yogi squat, hopping back to downward dog. Let's just take 5 of them. So try not to be super loose. Instead, try to tighten your body until you can't anymore. Hopping lightly. So just going ahead, hopping into it, finding your yogi squat, hopping up and back to your downward dog. Really trying to push from your armpits, squeezing the belly in, controlling landing, controlling pushing, finding your flight, finding your strength, pushing through your fingertips. This is not a handstands class, but it's super fun to practice these things. All concepts apply. It's all about strong shoulders. After you've done 5 of those, we'll come back into a little yogi squat. Just finding your way in. So, much like we would do in a yoga class, this is kind of yoga today, but much like we would do in a yoga class, we're going to insert a crow pose from here. But the purpose being is I really want you to practice this concept of pushing from your armpits and protracting the shoulders, okay? As you do that, really try to suck the belly in as much as you can, okay? So here we go, finding a crow pose. Making your way in. It's all good if you have your feet on blocks or even your head on a block. Let's be here for 10, 9, 8, 7, what's your core doing? 6, don't let your knees slide off your arms. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's come back to your yogi squat. Just paddle out whatever you need, maybe roll out the hands. If you want to do a little wingspan opener just to kind of stretch things out, please feel free. Awesome. Good. All right, we got to do a little low boat pose. Let's rock it on back. Get into the lowest version of boat possible. Good, as you're here, see if you can squeeze your thighs together once again so that you have a belt around your thighs, and I'm pulling that belt as tightly as I can possibly pull it. Let's take one arm back, reach it back behind you. You can always have your toes on the floor, that's cool. Good, let's switch arms. Both arms forward and then both arms back. Let's breathe for 5. 4, don't let your low back pick you up. 3, 2, 1, let's release this. We'll just do a little counter stretch just for fun, little bridge pose. You can pick up the hips, maybe interlace fingers together underneath the back. Pushing the ground away, picking up the hips a little bit taller. really rise it. And exhale, lower it down. Knees to chest. Let's come on up. If you want to do a little vinyasa, feel free to cross the shins and hop your way back and lower down. No problem if you're not going to go there today. Taking upward dog if you're doing it. And downward dog, we're just recommitting to the process. Good. So we're going to work some pincha from here. So you can come forward to plank, maybe drop your knees. So we're going to do the legs up the wall and Pinchamyurasana in that L shape. So we want to try to get the body 90 degrees, the L shape up the wall. And probably you already know how to do this, but I will make my way to a wall, literally put my feet on the wall, my hand where my butt was, and spin around, and that's where I'm going to place my elbows. So you can play with that for just a moment. Just make sure that you're about legs width distance, your elbows to the wall. And then finding dolphin pose first before walking the feet up. And try to bring the legs parallel to the floor. Let's breathe for 5, 4, 3, tight body, use your armpits, 2, 1, we're going to pick up one leg. Maybe it feels easier. Here we go for 5, 4, lift the foot, 3, push through your armpits, 2, 1, we're switching legs, lifting up the other. Here we go for 5, 4, 3, nice straight body here, 2, 1, we're going to drop down into a quick child's pose. Arms back by your hips, just not a lot of involvement there. Rocking the head, relaxing the body. Good. So you can either choose to do that again, or you can turn and face a wall for a pincha kick up to the wall, just to kind of practice that concept. Now here's the thing, during practice today and during our classes all month, we're going to kind of focus on this element of hardening the body and then softening the body to make things work in the way that you need it to work. I think one of the biggest tricks is to try to control when you harden the body and when to soften the body, and sometimes we don't really know that until we play a little bit. So let's play with the wall. Again, you can do the same thing we did, the L shape on the wall, or you can turn and face the wall. Elbows closer to the wall, dolphin pose. Just try to harden the body once you get there. And lean into the forearms, much like we were doing before when we were doing that kind of low dolphin hold. You can pick up one leg and just see if you can slowly rise it on up, because your leg is over the forearms. Yeah, good. It's easier said than done. For me, I actually just really have to lean into my arms to make that happen. There's a lot of folks who might find kicking up is a little bit easier, so you can kick up. That's totally cool. But I want to get us into a place over the month where maybe it feels safe to just kind of slide that lifted leg up to the sky, leaning so much into the forearms that there's not a lot of kicking happening. It's more about leaning into the forearms and rising up. Yeah, cool. Nice. And just playing with that concept a couple of times. You might switch legs, whichever leg is kicking up. Yeah, and feel free to come down, maybe interlace fingers behind you and just lift through the chest, give it a stretch. Maybe a little eagle arm stretch. You can take the left arm under the right. And doing the other side. Good, yeah, so let's get back into that pincha. We'll pick it back up. And I like to be kind of close to the wall so that way I'm not creating a banana back as I kick up. But I like to be far enough away from the wall in the event that I don't actually need it. Yeah, awesome. You know, once you're up there, it might be that you really try to tighten the whole body. Take the legs off the wall, push from the armpits, and just kind of notice how you feel. Yes, awesome. Loosening the body to come down. Again, always find a little rest in child's pose. Maybe a little tricep stretching if you want to lift one arm up in a seat and grab that elbow with opposite hand. Doing the other arm. Good, maybe trying just one more time, just for fun. You might try in the middle of the room this time. You might continue to kick up to a wall, or you might go back to that L shape up the wall. Totally up to you. And of course, you can always do a headstand if that's in your practice instead. But just purposefully finding that engagement, that full body hardness, and pushing from that lift of the armpits, okay? Because for me, that's the stability, the push from the armpits. It's like the second I lose focus on that is the second I waver and I kind of fall out of things. Again, a little child's pose, just to give yourself a break. So, these are things that I recommend if you're interested in just really getting your Pinchamyurasana a little bit stronger this month. Work on these things a little bit more, maybe 2 to 3 times a week. 2 times is general maintenance. 3 times, you'll definitely up the ante, but stay safe, you know? We're gonna just do a little cool down so you can cross your legs, kind of like a Pinchamyurasana or a half Lord of the Fishes. We're just gonna take a little twist, just to calm everything down, slowing down breath. Letting the neck stretch as you turn the gaze back behind you. And we'll inhale, look forward, and exhale, let's just simply switch sides. Grabbing the other leg, turning the gaze back, letting this be not only about the rotation of the spine, but also the push down into the seat, and some flexibility improvements here. Maybe you notice the outer hips, maybe you notice the upper neck, the lower neck, maybe you notice your gaze. Maybe you notice the space between your shoulder blades. And we'll inhale to look forward and exhale, release. Let's just do a little, if you want to do Baddha Konasana, cool. You could do a crisscross applesauce. We're just going to take a forward fold. Inhale and exhale, relax. Maybe closing the eyes and just softening the breath. Not a whole lot of physical engagement here, but rather just a nice constriction in the back of the throat as you release whatever other pieces and places of tension there might be. I sometimes go into a little rocking from side to side. You could also walk your arms over to one side and back through center to the other side, just to build in a little more flexibility. resting here for the last few moments of our practice. If you want to keep working on this sort of stuff, stick with it for the rest of the month. I promise by the end of the month you're going to feel like, oh, at least you'll have a little more stability to the process, and maybe you'll feel more successful within the next 28 days or so. Otherwise, if you're working on your own at home, make sure you do a couple of sun salutations, maybe 3A and 2B if you're into the Ashtanga practice, or just some sun salutations that feel good for you to simply warm up. And then you can certainly make your way to a wall and do that L shape up the wall. You'll be plenty warmed up after a few sun salutations to at least do that. And that's a nice, decent 10 to maybe 12-minute practice just to get your strength and to wrap your brain around these inversions. They're not easy, but they're certainly fun. So let's inhale, slowly come up. You can take your arms to the sky just to complete that. And exhale the palms together. Let's do that again. Inhale, open it up to stretch. Exhale, joining the palms in front of the heart. We'll take one more. Inhale, pick it up. And exhale. So thank you so much for being here. Hope it was fun for you. Nice quick practice. Get it in during your lunchtime. Get it in maybe first thing in the morning, and let me know how it goes.